She's so fine. Hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Friday, August the 4th, 2023. Finally, it is Friday. I know a lot of people are happy about that. This video is going to be an update to the video that I did yesterday in the case of 39-year-old missing Allisha Watts from North Carolina. Now, just a quick refresher. She left her home, traveled over an hour to Charlotte, North Carolina, to the home of her boyfriend of approximately 1 year, 51-year-old James Dunmore. And they had tickets to go to Bojangles Coliseum for a comedy show. Her cousin, who introduced the two, and I'm not putting blame on her at all. I'm sure she had the very best interests of her cousin at heart. She saw when they left the home, and James Dunmore was in the driver's side. Her cousin Allisha Watts got into the passenger side of her very own 2023 Mercedes Benz SUV. And they drove off. That was the last time she was seen or heard from. And they did not make it to the comedy show. A few days later, James Dunmore turns up at a remote DMV office in Polkton, North Carolina. And he had made an attempt on his own life, which was unsuccessful. There was no sign of Allisha Watts. However, her purse was inside of that vehicle. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police eventually obtained a search warrant. They searched his home on Pamela Lorraine Drive, and they found her cell phone. And they eventually seized several things from that home, including clothing, a tablet, a laptop, a memory card, a camera, the phone, both phones. They searched his Audi. And what we now know is that they recovered a shell casing outside of the residence of James Dunmore. And being that her cousin lives directly across the street from him, just thinking common sense, she would have heard if a weapon were fired. So it makes me wonder if there was a weapon fired somewhere and he picked up that shell casing to get rid of it and ended up bringing it to his home where it was found by the police. Just my first thought on that. Now, James Dunmore has an extensive criminal history. I went over that in my video yesterday. A ton of domestic violence type charges. But here's the other thing, guys. He has lived in Charlotte, Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is where he was in the penitentiary and served 5 years and was put on 15 years of unsupervised probation, which is where somebody definitely dropped the ball. Oxon Hill, Maryland, Stafford, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Lane, South Carolina, Fort Belvoir, Virginia. He's a mover, okay? So there's no telling what he's left as far as a trail.
The search continues for Allisha Watts. Search warrants say that Watts was last seen with her boyfriend, James Dunmore, on July the 16th. Channel 9's Genevieve Curtis has been looking through documents all day long, trying to find anything more we can learn about the weeks leading up to her disappearance. And Genevieve is joining us now in the newsroom live with what she found.
Hey, Erica, I have spent the day digging through court records and police reports looking into the address where Allisha Watts was last seen with her boyfriend, James Dunmore. And in one of those reports, we learned that police found a bullet shell casing outside that home. A police report from July 20th, one day after Allisha was reported missing, says that officers found a shell casing from a 9mm outside of the home at 1633 Pamela Lorraine Drive. 6 days later, detectives got a search warrant for the home looking for evidence of murder. I'm also learning more about James Dunmore and recent allegations of domestic violence against him. We first reported to you last night that a woman who says she was Dunmore's wife filed for a domestic violence order in Durham County in March. I learned that Meck County Sheriff's deputies served Dunmore with that order. A judge granted that order of protection at the end of May. And as part of that order, Dunmore was supposed to surrender his weapons to the sheriff's office. I confirmed with the sheriff's office today that no weapons were surrendered. A judge gave Dunmore's wife that order of protection after she says he kidnapped her, drove her to South Carolina, and sexually assaulted her. Today, I got a report made with CMPD for that same time frame in March. It says that she was held at the home on Pamela Lorraine Drive against her will for 2 nights and 3 days. Detectives closed that case and the allegations were considered unfounded in April. I've asked why. I also found records from May when Dunmore filed an order of protection against his wife, but that was denied.
Please record your message.
I also called James Dunmore today to ask him if he knows where Allisha is, but he didn't answer. Hi, Mr. Dunmore. And as we've reported, Dunmore spent time in a Virginia prison for charges related to kidnapping and domestic violence. At this point, CMPD has not named him as a person of interest or a suspect in the disappearance of Allisha Watts. We're going to continue digging and trying to answer that looming question, where is Allisha Watts? For now, reporting live in the newsroom, Genevieve Curtis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Uncovering a lot of new details there. Genevieve, thank you.
Now, Gwendolyn Utley, Allisha Watts' cousin, when she fixed her cousin up with James Dunmore, she said she had seen him with another woman, but he had told her that it was just his girlfriend. And she specifically asked if he was married, and he said no. Now, that was a lie. But in May of this year, his ex-wife filed a complaint in Durham, North Carolina. And no one is sure why that complaint was filed in Durham, as both of the parties are listed as living in Charlotte. But regardless, she described a physical assault and abduction from May of this year. And she also lists prior acts of violence, including choking, punching, and verbal attacks. It's just very scary, guys. Very, very scary. But I don't understand why the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department is stopping short of naming James Dunmore as the suspect in this case. Everything is pointing to him. Everything. I'm sure they have their reasons, but on the outside looking in, it don't look good. We know he's capable of it, as he's done this multiple times in the past. He was definitely the last person that was with her. No doubt about that. And he was even driving her car. So, it just seems a little silly at this point. But regardless, in this day and time, as sad as it is to say, you have got to check out the people that you are dating. You have to. There's no way around it. It is too dangerous out here, guys. I wanted to bring this story to the channel, and I'm going to continue to update this case. I'm 10 toes down on this one. So, you guys enjoy your Friday. You'll probably have another video from me later regarding this. And have a great day.